President François Hollande, then the German very important delegation led by Sigmar Gabriel, the second man in command in Germany, and he is a dear friend of Egypt.
Right, definitely. Well, Dr. Sidi, the Egyptians are pinning high hopes on the parliament in the coming stage, the voice of the people. Since you're with us, tell us more good news in the coming stage. Egyptians are always looking for good news. What could be the good news out of discussions in the parliament for the coming sessions?
Before speaking about the parliament, I'd like to mention just three small points about the visit of the French president.
Sure.
And this happened during our talks with the French ambassador.
Right.
One very important issue when we speak about our relations with France, we are having here Francophone culture, where lots of schools are here teaching by French language. We are having lots of Egyptian businessmen in France. And while the president visit, there will be, I believe, 60 companies from Egyptian origin are investing in France and willing to enhance their relations and cooperation in economic ties. On the same time, as I mentioned, the issue of supporting the ordinary Egyptian poor families, we will realize that there will be 80 million euro. They are going to supply natural gas to the most needed families and the poorest areas in Egypt. So I believe that by having this kind of culture, by having this kind of relations, especially this Francophonie culture, where we teach French language in all schools of Egypt, while having French teaching school here in Egypt. I believe that there is a special tie with the French nation, and we can make use of this share in the culture in order to enhance. Maybe they can support us by sending tourists, and once they support
tourism
us,
is definitely also on the agenda.
So this should be a solution, and we should try to get these ties, not only companies or investment, but in tourism we can do good achievement by gaining the support of French nation. On the parliament, I believe that lots of efforts are being done these days.
Yeah, we should know those efforts, you know.
Yeah. When we look about the government plan, now all members are speaking in order to support the nation, not only supporting the president, not only supporting the government, but also they are working hard in order to discuss and argue about the plan of the government. Let me tell you that yesterday's sessions was ending very late night and starting very early morning, and without any kind of rest, in order to discuss more, in order to give
what are the files that the parliament is taking as a priority in the coming stage?
In these days, it's a government plan. We are working hard in order to finish the government plan by next Wednesday. So there will not be any kind of rest, there will not be any kind of
complete focus.
Even taking break between sessions. There is no breaks between sessions in order to discuss more what will be the plan of the government for the coming 2.5 years, and also discussing the problems of the ordinary Egyptian peoples in each and every city, in each and every village. So I believe that all members are keen too much about those who are giving them their votes. We are proving that Egyptian democracy will go on and will continue, although lots of powers doesn't want this. But I believe that the representatives of the people will show that they are having the power to go further and to stand against all these bad kind of feelings.
Right. Ambassador Hegazy, well, Dr. Nader touched upon a very important issue, which is boosting tourism. And yes, we want the European tourism here to move forward. What are ideas that could be out of the box? And knowing the Germans,
Yeah, I think
what sort of packages can we provide?
This is
what do we need to do better?
I think we have to work with the same strategy of securing our airports, and this is what we are doing, inviting security delegations also from different European countries is quite important. Maybe also communicating with important tour operators like TUI, Thomas Cook, and others to meet and pressure, because they have interest in our tourism sector, and also to open it up on a high-level discussion. I think Minister Shukri, wherever he go, he speaks tourism as well, and President Hollande being here is an opportunity to further enhance our message that Egypt is safe. Even last night I met a French tourism delegation visiting Egypt, and I spoke to all of them. They spent like 17 days in the country, and they said we are back with the same message you have given to us, that Egypt is safe and we will invite more people. But as you said, out of the box, I think inviting the tour operators and ask them
marketing the country better.
Besides asking them to pressure also their policymakers, and maybe meeting the security officials at embassies here in Cairo to make sure that the message that we are trying to reach the capitals are reaching them even on our soil, and invite them to see places and to see measures. Seeing is believing. I think this is a key issue. Tourism is so important, and it starts here at the level of embassies in Cairo, and we take it further to the officials back in capitals, and I'm sure on a summit level or in the parliament, I'm sure the president might hear a similar measure. Keep the pressure and keep proactive diplomacy and be there all the time.
Right. Is there an exposure also through the parliament? I mean, parliamentarians visiting other countries and vice versa?
Yeah. In fact,
is this happening?
Yeah, I was supposed to be tomorrow in the Korean parliament, but unfortunately due to the...
That's very important, because it too, reveals the message.
Yes.
Seeing is believing, as Mr. Ambassador said.
Lots of countries now are not sending visitors to the parliament only, but they are keen to make parliamentary friendship associations with Egypt. We saw this with Japan, we saw this with some African countries, and later it was with China. So once they come and they realize our democratic experience, they realize that we should make relations and cooperation and send visitors and receive guests from Egypt. And returning to our parliamentary ordinary life and democratic representation, we also realize that lots of international and regional parliaments, like the African one, the Arabian one, so we will share also in this kind of associations by our members. Returning again to the French president visit to Egypt, companies also are very important. We are having here French companies that make more than 33,000 Egyptian workers. By encouraging those investors and give them the chance here in Egypt, there will be lots of chances for the Egyptian young men to get jobs and to fight unemployment. So this will be also another chance to learn from a great country like France. And I remember very well that the French president, during inauguration of the second Suez Canal, he was there like the star of that party. So this reflects the chemistry and the close relation between President Fattah al-Sisi and the French president. So I believe that we can make benefit of this when the two leaders sit together and discuss honestly about the problems of the nation. I believe that this kind of personal interaction will support a lot in each and every field. It will not be only on the political or security or military, but there can also be solutions to some Egyptian problems. We know that Europe is having great experience in ordinary citizens' life. Like, they are having their own, and Ambassador Hegazy can speak about this a lot, because he spent long years in Europe. So we can take solution for a specific problem. We are facing lots of troubles here, and we are in a very hard time. And I believe that friends like French nation, they can support Egypt, not only politically, but also in shifting their experiences and their own solutions. If we do this with many countries, we will realize that we are gaining a lot. We have example of the Japanese experience in education.
Right. But and the Korean experience when the president was in Seoul.
Yes, but especially from Japan, we will send 2,500 Egyptian students for the coming 5 years to Japan. So I'm waiting for something like this. I'm waiting for something will happen during the visit of the French president, and I'm looking to that kind of personal effect of President Fattah al-Sisi. I know very well that once they will sit together, once they will discuss together, lots of things will be there. We didn't expect to see all these reflections of the visit of King Salman. But after the king left, we realized that lots of issues are there. And maybe this encourage those who are jealous of us to do lots of troubles. But I believe that President Fattah al-Sisi, as he said today, I believe yesterday. As he said yesterday, it's very important to know that we are having leadership keen about this nation and ready to fight strongly in order to have strong Egypt and stable also.
Definitely, that is the main aim, a strong and a unified and a stable Egypt. Excellency Ambassador Hegazy, talking about the reflections of those important visits on Egyptian-European relations in general. What do you think?
I'm sure that the visit of François Hollande, President of France, to Egypt ushered to a new era, I think, in this region, where cooperation with the important capitals, when we started talking about King Salman's visit, the two pillars of the Arab world, Cairo and Riyadh, is very important. Now we are talking also about the three most important capitals for us in Europe, Paris, Berlin and Rome. I'm sure that this shows that we can together move forward to confront the challenges, particularly in a region where Europe is seeing it as a source of violent and radical and terrorist movements, where I'm sure the Islamophobia, as you have said, stemmed from the practices that we saw in many conflicts. Happily, there is development in the Syrian front. There is a third conference being called in Geneva by the UN Special Envoy de Mistura. And then we have the Yemeni hosted by Kuwait peace talks, and we have a Libyan new government that might truly bring back stability in this very close to heart neighbor. So I'm sure that the summit level or the summit diplomacy, which we are now enjoying, and the parliamentarian diplomacy, as well as the very active diplomacy of our foreign ministry and foreign minister. And let me just comment on the OIC participation, because I feel that this is a very also important issue, that the atmosphere of relations with Turkey wouldn't have allowed
that
a
the
summit
president
level.
would be there.
No, I think the first diplomat is quite enough, and it is truly an important. In Jakarta, Minister Sameh Shukri was there in the OIC conference on Palestine.
Yeah.
And I think this is in reading
definitely it's sufficient.
Absolutely.
Meantime.
Absolutely. But back again to the talk about the summit, parliamentarian and very active Egyptian diplomacy. Egypt is back to attract attention of its friends in a time of need, and they are all here to support you. So I'm very optimistic about stabilizing the Middle East, and in heart of it is the Arab world, where Riyadh and Cairo is building the very important two blocks, and the Egyptian-European relations is gonna restore back its importance, and together we will face challenges in Syria, in Yemen, in Libya, and the most important, the challenge of terrorism.
Yeah.
And this is the fight that we have to do it together.
Right, definitely the fight that we have to do together. And when we are up to the challenge, Egypt opening up to the world, that was our discussion on the debate for tonight, anticipating that important visit by French President François Hollande, and also in anticipation of the important visit of the German economic delegation to Egypt soon. Allow me to thank my dear guests. Thank you very much, Ambassador Mohamed Hegazy, Excellency, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you so much for being here on the debate tonight. And I thank Dr. Nader, Head of the Diplomatic Department at Al Jumhuriya newspaper and Member of Parliament. Thank you very much, and we wish for the Parliament all success in the coming phase, a very important Parliament in Egypt's history, pinning high hopes on you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our debate for tonight, and I'm Taghreed Hussein, thanking you all for watching.